he had that type of humor all of his life. He was able to make the least situation funny or enriched. He could tell stories like I can tell you that. I think the one story that you might be relating or thinking about is that when he had to finally flee to England. I mean, he was in Norway, I guess, about 1 to 2 years, and then it got so hot for him that he had to be taken on one of those fishing boats that took refugees or people like my dad to England to get them out of, because it got too hot for them here in Norway. And they didn't do that until they were told to do it, because they knew, the people that were running these things, they knew exactly what was going on. So they knew what was safe and what was not safe. So they had my father picked up out on the island outside of Bergen called Sotra. And when Dawn was here, the first time she came over here to visit with me, he took us out there, or we drove out there, and he showed us exactly where the boat came in that picked him up and took off. And so anyway, once he got to Scotland and England, and I don't know what happened at either one of the places. To me, it's all English or British. And anyway, he was helping with the soldiers. They were going to have shots, and they were going to have checkups. And so one time there was long lines of these soldiers standing just in their underwear, ready to be checked, have a health check. And then something happened where the doctor was called out to something else, and my father, he was one of the staff. He wasn't one of the soldiers, and so he went and put on a doctor's jacket, or the white coat.
Yeah.
And so he went, and then he told the nurse to go out and get the next soldier in. And she looked at him like, "Are you crazy or something?" And anyway, she called the next man in, and some of my dad listened to him with the stethoscope and different things, and there was a stamp on the desk. I guess they used it to stamp the papers so that they passed it or whatever. And so instead of doing that after the guy was finished with all the others, he said he was told to put his privates up on this table so he could be stamped.
Oh no!
And he did that, and the guy looked at him. He had his stamp. I don't know what the stamp said, but he had it on his private property. And he did that to several of them before he saw the doctor coming back, and then he hung the coat up and started talking to the soldiers on the other side. So anyway, it was the way he told it was. I can't tell it the way he did, but I can just see him doing it.
Should go to the doctor, the military doctor should go in the different companies, and we was maybe 30, 40 different guys, and I was one of the oldest ones. I was past 30. So then we come, there was 3 officers in a room like that, and outside the middle office there was a waiting room, and there were doctor officers, and so they told us to all of us going in the waiting room, but all of us couldn't go in the waiting room, but then they used the middle office as a waiting room too, for we should, the first thing we should into some doctors in that room and show the feet and everything, and then we should go out in the middle room there, and then we should wait till they call us from the next room there on this side, take off the shirt and everything, you know, and they should listen if you was good enough for to be killed during the war. Yeah, that's true. So he was there, and I was sitting in the middle office there and was waiting to be called in there. And we was maybe 8 or 10 guys sitting there around. And the waiting room there was full. So then they told us, they called us in from that room. Then the next match could be called in from the waiting room and come in the middle office. So that was right. So I was going really slow, that thing there, so I don't like things that were slow. So I saw a white cape hanging on the wall, so I took that. It was a white doctor cap. And then there was a office bank for the doctor there. And one of the guys, he had glasses. I didn't use glasses that time. So I asked him, Arne, I have borrowed your glasses, little white. Yeah, he gave me the glasses, but I couldn't see through them, you know, for that it was really old, it was terrible, but I was sitting down there and so I was sitting there and I said, call my ex-man in from the waiting room. Yeah, and my ex-man come in from the waiting room. I was sitting there and just like I was writing, you know. I said, take down the pens. And he took down his pens and come with the whole thing from and I took the stamp, you know, and what you didn't know, that was the guy started, you know. They started laughing. And the guy that I was stamping, put stamp on, you know, how you. So I said, sit down. So call the next man in the yard, the same thing. And the third man that come in was called in. Then he was staying there and I was stamping that guy. He was a stamp over his whole stomach. So, but then those people that were sitting there, they was laughing their head off, you know, and crying. And I took the cape over and the glasses he gave them back. Sit down on the bench. Then the doctors come in from those two offices. And they asked, he was making all that noise and so, and they applaud those two, the different units, you know. And nobody say anything. So, the next man was called in to the doctors, and the doctors was happening in that office. There was a much noise. And then the guys, they told the doctors, and then they start laughing too, you know. So they took this as a joke. Then it was a joke. So I didn't hear, they didn't say who they did it. So 2 weeks later, I went to a war school over there in London that time. So I got the letter with my name, you know, and was called into a hospital right outside London. We come together over there, so and so, and so I should. No. The costume to go ice fishing during the winter. And all the lakes, you know, they are frozen, and people come up there and they have maybe a little axe with them or something, you know, and then I make a hole in the ice, and they put the worm on the hook and they start fishing. So he comes skating out, you know, like that. And then they come to the spot, so.